Hey guys, welcome back to Skylanders Ring of Heroes. We're on day 4 of the global account, and I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a recap of today. We haven't made too much progress, but then the big thing that I want to talk about is crit rate builds, crit rate, crit damage builds, and when you should sort of start looking into them. So for the last day, I've pretty much just been farming B7 now that I can do it. I've got a few rune upgrades, so it's really reliable for me now. So I'm just smashing that out, trying to get all those rune upgrades. And we'll have a quick look. I'll show you in a day's farming, of pretty solid farming. I'll click this button, which lets us see all the runes. You can see I've got 6 6-star runes. I think I had one more that I sold because it was like a slot 2 accuracy or something like that, and it was like a resist rune. So I just got rid of that. So I think I've pulled 7 6-star runes from a solid day of farming, and then a bunch of 5-star runes. So unfortunately, this one was effect accuracy, but the rest of them have been pretty decent. And energy with HP percent will be real nice once I get a HP unit that I need to use. And then, yeah, I got this. This one was really good at crit damage. I was really hoping that it would roll into some crit rate, but unfortunately it didn't. I was really actually hoping any of these like 6-star runes would get a good crit rate roll, but you know, that's the way RNG goes. So you can't always be lucky. I'm still keeping, even though I've got a bunch of 5-star runes down here, I'm still keeping my Stealth Elf and my Stormblade on the strike sets. Just because the attack bonus is really nice, especially on my Stormblade now that I'm using the crit rate, crit damage build. You're not getting much attack from anywhere else except for this top rune and some substats. So as you can see, this rune was really nice, rolling into 12 crit rate. But yeah, I did get some nice upgrades. We'll talk a bit more about the crit rate thing later on. I'll go a bit more through what I'm doing and the progression sort of thing at the moment. So we're doing that. So the next thing I want to be doing in the game is getting this Stealth Elf to 6-star. So you can see I've got a +5. She's got 22 out of 90 for the evolution. We're getting really close. So what I've been doing for that is, I know I've said this before, but I'm requesting it from Guild to get those extra 4 per day. But then I'm also doing the scenario 1 on easy, but I'm doing the refresh. Now, I'm not saying you should do the refresh or you have to do the refresh. It's a personal choice. She's the only one that I'm doing the refresh for to get those extra 6 shards, and I'll probably stop doing them once I get her to 6-star, because getting that 6-star is a really big thing for stat bonuses once you can get them to level 70. Some people ask about whether you want to awaken Stealth Elf or 6-star. I definitely reckon Stealth Elf is one of those ones. 6-star is much more valuable than Awaken. For me personally, I normally use her skill 1 and 2. It's her stealth that gets awakened into making it a cleanse when she goes into stealth. It is really nice for arena later on. However, for progression, I just think 6-star is definitely the way to go for Stealth Elf. The other thing I'm doing at the moment is, as you can see, my gold's pretty low because I've had all those runes that I've been powering up, and people sometimes ask when you get to that sort of, when you start farming runes from B7 and B8, it's sort of, when do I farm runes and when do I go farm fragments to get my units to get me to the next stage of progression? So what my general rule is that I do, you can do it whichever way you want. I normally farm runes, get a bunch of good runes like I did, power them up, and then I'll normally get pretty broke in gold. And that's when I'll transition over to farming fragments, because when you're farming fragments from scenarios, you're getting better gold return. So then I'll go farm the fragments for whatever and get the gold return. So at the moment, I'm farming on scenario 10 just to get those whirlwind fragments. I've found, if anyone else is farming for whirlwind, this is just personal for me. Once you get to the stage where you're, okay, it might not be for everyone, because it's for me it's Stormblade doing the farming. If you've got another AoE attacker, I'm doing this stage because it's got the bombs, and the bombs are really squishy, so my Stormblade can actually get through them really, really quick. Because both these AoEs will one-shot the bombs, and that means it's just less attacks you've got to take to get through it. So I can clear this one in about a minute 10. So that's what I've been doing. I've also been just taking 3-star units with him to level them. They're not units that I'm building yet or anything like that. I've put some +3s, +4s into them, just basically because I had the stuff there. And quests tell me to power stuff up. But there's these guys, the reason I'm leveling all these 3-stars and not any of my 4-star units is because if we go over here to the missions, this is one to really take note of. and you go to the power up section, you can see here the second mission for this is reach max level with a 3-star Skylander 5 times. So you got, I think there was a reward at 2, I can't really quite remember, but you get the reward at 5, and then I'm hoping the reward at 10 goes to be the same as these green ones, which was 40. So the first thing I did was level all my 2 stars to get these 40 Omni Gems to help power up Whirlwind, and that made it really quick to power up Whirlwind. If you're doing something like that, like I said, I managed to do the B7 with Whirlwind only at 4-star, and by the time you use all these rewards, buy all your Arena Omni Gems, you don't actually have to farm that much to get to that stage. Same things with the 1-stars, you can make the 4 1-stars max level, which takes absolutely nothing, and you can get those 20 Omni Gems as well for that. But that's what I'm doing now. I'm leveling all of the 3-stars because I just really want to get these Omni Gems, once again to help speed up the progression of getting my Stealth Elf to 6-star. The next thing we've been doing is Mirage Tower. Now, Mirage Tower I haven't been actually working hard on. I had the quest that told me I had to clear level 30, and I'd been putting that off for ages, and then I finally thought I may as well get into it and finish that quest. So I've got to 30. I'm going to wait for a quest to tell me to go further before I go any further. And on the topic of quests, in the Veteran Quest 1, there used to be a quest that said you had to clear level 10 of the Beast Labyrinth, which made the quest, like the quest just came to a grinding halt and you just had to, basically no one could get past it. I completely forgot in the patch notes they have like removed that quest or moved it to later on. So now you can actually progress through. If anyone was like me, just not waiting on quests, not bothering, don't. Go back, do the quest, because I had a look through all these ones and I'm pretty sure I can just get them all done up to the end, and that'll get me another legendary swap scroll guaranteed nat 5. So I'm going to start punching through those in between farming my whirlwind shards. We jump over to Arena now. Arena's been pretty basic. I just basically use my gears whenever I have them, try and keep them on refresh, and that's pretty much how you get into the high ranks this early stages. If you just keep playing, your ranking keeps going up and you'll keep doing alright. I don't really care about ranking, to be honest now. I just got myself into Master 3, which is where I wanted to be, just to get the rewards at the end of the week. I feel like some of the guys are already starting to push to get that Grand Master reward, and the extra 200 gems isn't worth how many gems I'd be spending probably to catch up to them. So I'm just going to sit there, coast through. I'm in Master, which gives me the 25 points per win, and that 1400 for the end of week rewards, which will be coming at the end of today. That's when it does reset. But yeah, there's some dudes in there working pretty hard. They're over 100 above me, so I've just accepted that I'm not going to catch them. But grats to whoever does end up getting the rank 1 for the first week of global. It's a good effort. But yeah, the team I'm using in Arena at the moment, I've changed it up since I got my crit build on my Stormblade, which we will talk about. I'll just show you quickly an Arena match. What I used to be doing, actually that's a bit low, let's see if we can get someone higher to hit. Okay, what I used to be doing was using, okay, this sucks because he's got double fire units and he's got the Kaboom Awaken. That is really good progress. This dude farming has gotten us, he's 5-star Awaken, but still that's pretty nice for Kaboom, having him Awaken. That's one I'll definitely leave because I've got my 2 wind units that are going to get destroyed by that. Okay, everyone's awakening Kaboom. Thanks, guys. Straight into the bomb meta. Let's just do it. So what I've changed up to now is I'm just using my Stormblade's 2 active skills and trying to AoE clear everyone, and then hopefully that wins me the game. That's pretty much my general strat now. I used to try and take out the big threat with Stealth Elf and then move on, but now my Stormblade does do really good damage when he crits. That's what I'm doing. So let's jump into it, and literally that's my game plan, and we'll charge. My Whirlwind is doing absolutely nothing in Arena at the moment. Being a 4-star just doesn't quite cut it with where we're at, and we should be pretty good here now. Beautiful. The one thing about the Whirlwind, I think if I get a 5-6-star Awaken, I think she'll be really nice in Arena. Once your units get a bit tankier, that regen, if it does go off, is really handy. So that's Arena. Now I want to talk about that crit rate build versus the attack build. So crit rate in this game is not a guaranteed thing. So if you have 100% crit rate, you're still not guaranteed to crit. For some people coming from Summoner's War, obviously you know the glance mechanic. If you have elemental disadvantage, I'm pretty sure it was a 15. I haven't played Summoner's War in a couple of years. I'm pretty sure it was a 15% chance to glance if you had elemental disadvantage. In this game, everyone has an evasion stat, everyone has an accuracy stat. Just looking at the numbers, we haven't had this confirmed. I'm pretty sure it's accuracy. Your accuracy minus the enemy's evasion equals their chance to equals your chance to hit. So you can rune some accuracy on your units, get some substats, and then you'll be pretty safe. But if enemies are runing for evasion, if they evade, you're not going to crit, so it does reduce your crit rate. So against some tankier units, you know, if you've got a 100% crit rate, you might only have an 80% chance to actually crit because they might have the 20% chance to evade. So crit rate, you actually want really high. Mine's is a little low for what I'd really like. But the thing about this is the synergy of making my stormblade on a crit build is really nice because in dungeon bosses, sometimes I still, sorry, not dungeon bosses, but different scenarios and stuff like that. Sometimes I do drop the whirlwind for the Enigma, and the fact that Enigma puts the buff on the unit with the highest attack, that often I'm taking Enigma into areas of the tower and stuff like that where I really want to nuke a single target. So then I really want to get that attack buff on the stealth elf. So the stealth elf is still on the attack build, so she gets the buff, and then I can single target nuke. And then this guy still does amazing damage AoE anyway. But we'll look at his runes. And basically this rune is the reason I put him on the crit damage build. Like I said earlier, I would have really liked some crit rate on it, but you get what you get with RNG. And then I had a strike rune that was 5-star crit rate, which it doesn't have great substats or anything like that, but I will eventually power it up to 15, which will put him up to 83% crit rate, which is really decent. I think in this game, around that 80 to 90 is where you really want to be at a minimum. In the 70s, you can get away with, but just because of that extra chance to glance, the block chance, all that sort of stuff, I just wouldn't. I don't know, just personally, I've seen on my other account, I think 90% crit rate stealth elf miss a lot of crits. So that's just a general personal preference. Once you get in to start using the crit rate builds, you'll find out what works for you, but that's my general sort of thing. Around that 80 to 90 is a good starting point. You can do a little less and still get away with it. This guy, because he's AoE and I'm focusing more on PvE, you know, when you're hitting 4 targets, you're probably going to get a few crits in there anyway and do some good damage to some of the units. And then because I'm running in with my stealth elf, if I miss a crit, stealth elf can clean up that unit with her single target damage. So that's where, you know, even if I was around 75, I probably still would have stuck to this build. Obviously, I'd love to power up this crit damage rune to be maxed, but we're a bit gold broke at the moment. And that's pretty much it. The last thing I wanted to cover is comments. So I woke up this morning and I think I had like 59 comments on YouTube, and I always say I'll try and get back to everyone. But just if you guys, if you're watching the videos and you're reading through the comments, if you see something that you can answer to help someone out, because I'm taking a bit longer to actually reply because work's busy and all that sort of stuff. If you can reply to someone, give them answers to their questions, that would be really awesome, just helping out the community. And just so you know that I've seen it, I will go through and give the comments a heart if I agree with them, just so you guys know, this guy's on board. He's giving you the right advice, and if I think something different, I'll leave a comment as well. But the problem is it's just taking me a long time to get back to comments at the moment. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks again for all the support to the channel at the moment. The subscribers and views are just growing crazy at the moment, and you guys have been really great. A lot of really nice comments that I really appreciate from all you guys. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.